period. I know there are posts that have weapons they inherited from another post when they combined or when some other post closed or donated to another post, when the post could not and no longer maintain the items. Please do not try to hide this, as all weapons and equipment not accounted for will be reported to the FBI and BATF as stolen military equipment. The items will just be properly transferred to your district post. One of their favorite things BATF does at gun shows, if somebody sells a body armor or a helmet, something that's even theirs, they just arrest you. They just hate America. You see, the United States previously reveled in the fact that in Europe, read Thomas Jefferson, all the founders, in Europe, the people weren't even allowed to own swords, weren't allowed to own muskets, much less tanks and cannon. You know, tanks weren't invented until World War I, but you get my point. Now we have all this. It's pure Americana, pure liberty, libertà, that these weapons were served out when they were, quote, obsolete to the local militias that then the VFW grew out of. Homeland Security lists you as the #1 terrorist. I mean, in fact, when I finish reading this document and we show them the inventory form, search engine for folks out there in case they just now tuned in and are watching on prisonplanet.tv or never heard this show before, listening on the radio. Google for folks, veterans listed as #1 terror threat by Homeland Security. We'll show you the document because I know a lot of you are new and you're going to say it isn't real. Doesn't matter if it was in hundreds of newspapers and we broke it. Okay. I am hopeful that I will not need to remind anyone of the severity of punishment that can be administered or the legal bills resulting from individuals or elected officers, if on post property, of the post having possession of stolen military weapons, which the government gave them. We have till January 31st, 2009 to report the U.S. Army TACOM. July. We have until July 31st, 2009 to report the U.S. Army TACOM. Please submit your inventory list as soon as possible so I can mark your post district off our list. And see, this is about the bureaucracy of list of veterans and veterans reporting on themselves. Should you have any questions, please do not hesitate to call me. Thanks for your help on this matter. Dan West, Sergeant, USMC retired, Assistant Adjunct, Department of Texas Veterans of Foreign Affairs. This is the New World Order. Show them the inventory list. Click on the other document. Here's the inventory list for everybody out there. So you can list that 100-year-old, 150-year-old cannon that's spiked out front. And don't worry, the state of Texas is listing its cannons out front from the Texas Independence. Those things are like crosses to vampires. They hate our liberty teeth so much. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. So they give it to you, they push it, just like they tell the troops. Remember the 60-plus billion, it was 20 billion, then 40 billion, 60-plus billion in pallets of $100 bills? And they would give every private 10, 20, 30 grand a year. They'd give colonels millions, generals untold millions, stolen loot. But later they'd say, now you're part of the corruption. If you report on any of this, it was being done by the White House, you're going to be in trouble. Well, this is how they're going to corrupt the VFW. Oh, you don't know where that rifle came from. Well, just agree to report on other members of the VFW that don't like the president. I mean, they admit in the Department of Homeland Security documents that go out nationwide, they're spying on veterans, gun owners. We're the #1 threat to their criminal activity. Let's go ahead and go to calls. I said I want to hear from people at VFW who've gotten this or who are veterans or VFW members. Okay? Roger in Missouri, you're on the air. Go ahead. Can we go to the caller there? Yeah, go ahead, Roger.
Yeah, thanks for reporting on this. I do have to correct you on one thing. I was instrumental in getting a Marine Corps League started about 7 years ago, and we do military funerals, and we did apply and got M1 Garand rifles from the U.S. government, and they was very specific about it. And
sir, you're not listening to me. Sir, hold on. You didn't hear a word I said. Not a word I said. I said this has been in the last 15, 20 years they do this. The government gifted those Civil War cannons to...
Yes, sir.
Look, I'm going to tell you something. This is new. I know that. So you're not correcting me. Go ahead.
Well, all I wanted to say was when they sent us the weapons, they did say they was loaned. They didn't say that they was given them to us.
No, I know. I'm saying now they're telling you that. I understand.
Okay. All right. But I'm also a lifetime member of VFW in Cape Girardeau, Missouri, home of Papa Rush Limbaugh. I have just made an urgent call to my commander.
Stay there, sir. And I wasn't trying to be rude to you. I just want to be specific. I know they do this now. I'm saying that's the contract trick. And they have you sign contracts to then domesticate you and basically turn you into informants. You're just being punked. You're being made into servants of the feds and InfraGard. Stay there, sir. I want to talk to you, Roger. Thanks for calling. Stay with us.
In the New World Order's war against humanity, Barack Obama is the tip of the spear.
We've got to give them a stake in creating the kind of world order that I think all of us would like to see.
The Obama deception completely destroys the myth that Obama is working for the best interest of the American people.
Well, Obama's already fudging. He's fudged since day one in this election.
If you have a demagogue with a fanatical mass movement of personality cultists who is imposing the program of a group of extreme bankers and finance oligarchs, that's fascism.
It's not about left or right. It's about a one-world government. This film documents who Obama works for, the lies he has told, and his real agenda. Get your copy of The Obama Deception today at Infowars.com or download it in super high quality at PrisonPlanet.tv. The Obama Deception. The people strike back.
Are you wondering about your retirement portfolio? Are you confident that the financial advisor is experienced enough to combat climbing interest rates, taxes, and inflation? Stop guessing and go to the expert, Robert Chapman of the International Forecaster. When you subscribe to the International Forecaster, you get Robert Chapman's 45 years of experience and concise investment recommendations. Who needs sugar-coated excuses when you can get the cold hard facts and proven investment leads you can't get anywhere else? For a free introductory copy to Robert Chapman's International Forecaster, subscribe now at theinternationalforecaster.com or call 877-479-8178. Experience the difference. When you subscribe, you can email Robert Chapman directly to obtain investment advice tailored just for you. Don't wait another minute. Subscribe today at theinternationalforecaster.com or call 877-479-8178. That's 877-479-8178.
This is Alex Jones for American Tax Settlement. We have received news that the IRS is currently accepting reduced settlements on back taxes, and millions of consumers may be eligible for this reduction to save thousands of dollars. If any of you out there owe $10,000 or more in back taxes to the IRS, we have created an open phone line with American Tax Settlement for all Alex Jones listeners to see if you qualify for a settlement with the IRS to save thousands. The number to call is 1-800-506-5904. Millions of taxpayers now may be eligible for this settlement to save thousands of dollars. Don't risk the IRS coming after you and garnishing your wages or seizing your property. American Tax Settlement specializes in negotiating with the IRS on your behalf, keeping the IRS off your back and saving consumers millions of dollars. If you owe $10,000 or more in taxes to the IRS, the number to call is 1-800-506-5904. That's 1-800-506-5904. Call today.
Going into battle, you would want all the ammunition for your gun you could get. But presently, ammunition and reloading supplies are in shortage. Now think about this. If you have no food, all the guns and ammunition will be useless against the population control breadlines. In the present battle for freedom and the lives of your loved ones, food is your most important and only true ammunition. How much do you want? When do you want it, now or after the battle starts? When will you need it? Will you buy it without proper identification? Will it make your children sick? Quarantine? Will you feed yourself or go to the gathering center for immunization? All of these problems disappear if you have a good supply of storable food. Food is your ammunition to fight for your freedom and your life. How much will you need? We don't know. How much do you want? All you can get. Storable food puts you in control. Call 800-409-5633. On the web, efoodsdirect.com. Call 800-409-5633.
Ron Paul is coming up in the next segment now. He's not going to be able to get on the floor, so stay with us for that. And I'm going to continue with Roger and Matt and Mark and everybody else who's holding. Roger, I wasn't jumping on you when you called in to correct me. The reason I jumped on you is I know I predicted last hour how this is going to go. And it's going to be, well, you guys, hold on just a second. You guys signed all the documents, so now you're basically our slaves. But the point is they're lying about all this previous stuff, and I've got to get the actual year, but I talked to a VFW head who won't come on air, and he said, yeah, they started having to sign forms the last 15, 20 years. He's got to pull some documents up. But the issue, and then I'm going to let you talk, and I appreciate you calling, is that they, out of the gates, are threatening the veterans who had this stuff pushed on them and given to them to go out and do services for our dead veterans. And it's bad enough to be registering them and making them, getting ready to turn the stuff in.